Hello, New Jersey Burby here from Blacks in the Burbs. And today we are in Brooklyn, BK to the fullest. I will be chatting with 3 suburban moms that are daughters of dreamers past. These are women whose families migrated here to America back in the 60s, 70s to come here for a better life. And given the current administration and all the things that are happening now in America, I thought this conversation was very timely. So join me, if you will, as I sip and chat with the daughters of dreamers past. So I'm Colette, and I'm New Jersey Burby, which you all know. What I don't share a lot is that my family is from Guyana, South America, which is considered the Caribbean only because they kind of identify themselves as a Caribbean country. My parents migrated here to America in 1967.
Hi, I'm SipNChat. My family is from Haiti, and my mother came here in 1963.
Hi, I'm Renee McLeod-Gatulo, and my parents are Jamaican, and they came here in 1969 for my father and 1972 for my mother.
Hi, I'm Diane Gibbs, and my parents migrated from Trinidad in the year of 1970. And I'm a born Brooklynite, but definitely Caribbean all the way. So I'm looking forward to us sharing our conversation.
So you mentioned Brooklyn. You know, I grew up in Brooklyn too. And my parents came here from Guyana to Brooklyn by way of Trinidad. So to explain that in a little bit more detail, I had this conversation for the first time with my mother. I realized that I never asked her, Mommy, why did you come here? I assumed it was to raise her kids here and have children. She told me the other day she did not know she was going to have any children. She said the reason why she came here was because it was the thing to do. Her sisters were here. She had 2 sisters here. One came here on a work skills project for nursing. The other one was here for sociology. Her sisters were here. She had a man that lived in Trinidad, which was my father. He wasn't committing. She decided to go visit him for 2 weeks before she came to America. She had a vacation visa. He literally on the spot proposed to her the day before she was leaving.
Wow.
They got married at the Justice of the Peace.
In Trinidad.
Okay.
And is he
And
Trinidadian?
he was born in Guyana, and his family went to Trinidad when he was like 12.
Which is a migration
Which is a migration story.
as well.
Yeah.
It's a huge Guyanese population in
Trinidad because
yes.
of the coast, they're being so close to each other. And what's interesting is that they have no wedding pictures. Like I have one picture of the 2 of them leaning over a television set, smiling. My mom looked happy as I don't know what, because she finally got her ring, and she was coming to America. And the hope and the promise that's on their faces in that one picture really, to me, is better than a wedding photo, because it just really gives me that sense of like they were coming here for an adventure, and then they never went back.
My mom came from Haiti. I don't know too much of my father's story, but my mother came in 1963. And the reason why I asked you what year JFK died was because the way she remembers is that the year that they came first, she went from Haiti to Jamaica, and she studied there. And then from Jamaica, she went to Canada because we had a cousin there. She did 1 winter in Canada, and she was like,
That's
Mother
it.
of
That's
God.
it. We don't do cold weather.
She was like, that is it. She was like, the snow was about 6 feet tall. She was done. So, and it was funny back then. So she just literally mailed in an application for a green card. They mailed it back to her, and she came down to the U.S. with her green card.
It was very different.
Wonderful.
Very different.
Exactly, very different.
And she was bilingual, I'm assuming.
She was bilingual because she had to, and her school too. Through the schools that she went to, she learned English, and then when she went to Jamaica, so by the time she came here, luckily for her, she knew English.
Oh, wonderful.
So she came here, and one afternoon, my aunt came home with half of her head pressed. So one side was, silky smooth, and the other side was still curly.
Okay.
And she was like, "Did you hear JFK died?" And like the hairdresser heard he was killed, and he was like, "Oh, that's it. I can't do your hair." And that was it. She came home with half of her hair done.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I know she came here in 1963.
Oh, wow.
And she came really for opportunity because Papa Doc was still in power at that point.
Okay.
And she just kind of looked around and she was just like, there are just no opportunities for me here. I need to go. And my grandfather was also like, you need to go and make a way. Like, we've given you the best education that we can, because she was an only child, so they were really able to work and give her like a really good education. And she was like very smart as well.
Okay.
So that's why she did the migration here, because she just wanted more opportunity, because they were,
I think
she saw
it's
that.
really important that you say that, because so many people believe that people migrate because of poverty.
Right.
And it's not always poverty, it's opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because there's a misconception
I agree.
that it's not until you actually migrate you obtain physical things and education.
Exactly.
But actually a lot of immigrants come with both.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to communicate it, because some people are misstrued.
And especially with Haiti, because Haiti.
Exactly. Especially
the mantra, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
Which is
and then
so
we go the
horrible.
story beyond that.
My father and my mom, they moved here for education. Well, like my mom, the migration story, she went from Jamaica to England. She went to nursing school in England.
Okay.
Then went to Canada, then came down to New York. My father came directly from Jamaica to the States, to Brooklyn, and he went to college here. So it was all for education. My family's very education-oriented. My grandfather's name is teacher. That's what, he was a principal of their hometown school, and so education was always very big. So that, they both they both came for opportunity and for schooling, and they, that's what they dedicated themselves to. Worked and worked and worked while they went to school. And they came from another country.
Yeah.
I haven't moved out of the state.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even want to leave Brooklyn.
Right,
And it's like, for me, an adventure was living in New Jersey. Like, to go from one country to another with no.
And think about it, they were 20. Like my mother was 20 nothing.
Yeah. Right. Oh wow.
Right. So young.
So young.
So young. My mom too. Right. To be like 17, and then to just up and leave everything that you know behind.
Not knowing what's ahead of you.
But knowing that you just want greater opportunity. And so when did your parents come?
1969 and 1972.
So when you look at the islands, like a lot of the islands, Trinidad later than most, because Trinidad's economy was just stronger than the rest of the Caribbean's economy. When you look at the islands, the brain drain that occurred, because just like your father came from, my mother's the same thing. She came, she gave opportunity, she went to school, she became a registered nurse, and then went from there her career. How many doctors and nurses and teachers ended up here with Haiti? They also ended up in the Congo, because of the French speaking in Canada.
Two of my uncles are doctors.
Oh wow.
And they both, they both came to the States also. My uncle first, then my father, then my uncle. My second.
And I think the current administration doesn't really showcase a lot of the fact that, we are an educated people. We are contributing to this country like no one else. I mean, I have more nurses and teachers in my family than most people have in a school.
Well, that was the only choice at one point in time. You were going to become a teacher or a nurse.
And that was it.
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think the first from my family was my great-grandmother in the early 60s. She migrated from Trinidad. Herself and a companion. That's another scandalous story.
I was like, wait,
That's a story.
She came, she migrated via cruise ship.
Okay.
And she never returned. She died right here in Lefferts Gardens in Brooklyn.
Oh, wow.
At the age of 92, I believe.
wow.
So she really is the pioneer for our family. She started the trickle effect of people just doing it because Nora left, so each one should leave behind.
Now, who's Nora?
Nora is my great-grandmother.
Oh,
yes.
Nora.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. So she had her kids here? Did she have any kids in Trinidad?
She left 4 kids and grandkids in Trinidad.
Okay.
And migrated here. But they were adults by the time she was migrating to the States.
So how did they get here? Like how?
After she was here and settled for a while, I believe my cousin Jean was the first of the grandchildren.
Okay.
Who went to school here. I think she went to high school as well.
Okay.
And then the older children started to come. Her daughter. She had 3 daughters and a son. And her son is my grandfather.
Okay.
And that's pretty much my migration story. That's where it really, really begins.
Very nice.
Right.
Very nice. Yeah. So I know that when my mom came here on a vacation visa, her sisters were citizens, but she was not. So I remember her telling me a story about leaving a job because she had a fake Social Security card.
That's right.
And she had to leave because they questioned her.
That's
and
right.
at lunch, she left and never came back. What I found out is that, interestingly enough, she was undocumented for 3 months. I thought I was born to an undocumented. This is the thing that's so interesting. I created my own story about my family, but she was not undocumented for more than 3 months. She said that when she got here, her older sister literally walked her to an immigration lawyer, got her to sit down. He got her a letter. She got a letter from her former employer stating that she was working as an administrative assistant in Guyana, and that was enough for her to get her citizenship,
which
here.
was huge
back then.
Huge. That's a huge position back then.
Yeah, and
Huge.
my father, she had to file for my father to stay
As her husband, right?
to stay at her husband's.
Yes.
So to come from such a place and then have 2 children that were educated here, I mean, it was a big deal, like you said, to educate your kids here. What was it like transitioning here in America, having Caribbean parents? I know for me, yeah.